So we have gotten to this moment, people, the final two matches of Concacaf World Cup qualifiers, where we're going to see insane games, insane storylines. Who will qualify from this region that has seen so many epic turnarounds, epic storylines emerge, like Honduras maybe qualifying to the World Cup? Could we see a debutant from Group A between Suriname and Guatemala? What will happen in Group B? Can Trinidad get back into the run? There is so much to talk about, and I cannot wait for it. Yes, I will be waking up at 3 a.m. my time on the final match day to watch the games. I cannot do a watch along, otherwise I'll be kicked out of the building, but I will be there no matter what. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below, people. Who will be the three group winners and which two teams will go to the intercontinental playoffs? So Group A stands like this as of right now. Suriname and Panama both on 6 points. Guatemala now on 5 points after a huge victory away to El Salvador. And El Salvador, after having all the home games, are at the bottom and in real jeopardy of not qualifying to the World Cup or getting a runners-up position. So we first have Suriname versus El Salvador. Now for Suriname, they have destiny in their own hands. As long as they win both games, I think they're pretty much set to directly qualify to the World Cup, barring, Panama destroy El Salvador or Panama, beating Guatemala by a severe scoreline. Now, the problem for Suriname is they're a good defensive team. They're organized. They did really well going away to Panama and getting a point, which is not easy whatsoever. They held on for a majority of the game. Marjorie, I think, has been a really stand-up player for them because nobody else in the attack wants to stand up right now. Geraldo Becker, where are you? Where are you? We can't find you right now. Becker needs to step up this window. The problem for Suriname is, and we saw that against Guatemala, they don't have enough creativity within their squad to break down a low block. And what are they going to face when they go up against El Salvador? Definitely a low block. Can Suriname break that down? Well, they're going to need their star players to show up. Can they get the victory in this game? They have to. It's one of the most important games. It's probably the most important game in Suriname history before they go away to Guatemala. For El Salvador, after 3 straight home losses, I don't see how they can bounce back now. Yes, they got the victory away to Guatemala. The game was dreadful. The game they had at home to Guatemala was dreadful. They played pretty well against Panama and Suriname at home, but otherwise, El Salvador are not a good team. They don't have enough creativity. They look like sometimes very disorganized, and I just feel like after 3 straight home losses, after you get a huge away victory like you did, and to drop stinker after stinker after stinker, it has to be demoralizing right now for El Salvador. So how will they bounce back going away to Suriname? It's going to be tough for them, and their lackluster performance against Guatemala does not help whatsoever. Probably the biggest game, though, is Guatemala versus Panama. I'm really worried about Panama. I'm desperately worried about these guys because they have no goal scorers on their team. Fajardo, Diaz, Waterman, all of them have regressed since the Gold Cup. What has happened to Diaz? Yeah, he got the late goal against Suriname, but there's nobody on this team that can actually score. When they get it down the wings, because most teams are now going to just set up in a low block against Panama, they all just bunker down. And Panama seem to just put in cross after cross, cross, and inshallah right now is Christensen's tactics. The only guy is Carrasquilla. That's the only dude where you look at him and say, oh, he's determined to qualify to World Cup. Now it's down to Christensen and this team to really stand up. I saw they called up 37-year-old Alberto Quintero. What are we doing here? Are we just trying to bring experience to the team? Yes, he's a winger and maybe he could help with the goal scoring, but 37-year-old Alberto Quintero, is this really going to be the solution here for Panama? I'm worried because they're going away to Guatemala, and Panama have not been in a good away side so far in these qualifiers. And with the momentum that Guatemala surely have right now, they got a massive victory away to El Salvador. They didn't play well, I thought, away to Suriname. Yeah, they bunkered down. Defensively, they're a gritty side, but Guatemala still don't have a lot going forward. And that's why you got to look at Santis and saying, he has to do magic again. If Santis can create the magic, oh no, Guatemala can definitely get the win here against Panama because all they just need to do is replicate the last 2 performances where they were solid defensively, get the 1 goal, and just be... That might be the solution here. That might be the blueprint here for Guatemala to qualify for their first ever World Cup. And Morales was outstanding in the last 2 games. This guy is such a good left back, and he's going to have to continue his performances. These games are just, so tantalizing because Suriname are in a perfect position. Guatemala have a golden chance of qualifying to their first ever World Cup at home. You have 2 home games. 2. Don't bottle this now if you're Guatemala. And for Panama, they got massive pressure here. You're going away to Guatemala, and then you're hosting El Salvador. I mean, El Salvador should be a gimme here for Panama, but I cannot guarantee it right now. I cannot. So let's now get into my predictions for Group A, because I think madness is about to happen in this group. All right, I got Suriname beating El Salvador 1-0, Guatemala, Panama on 1-1. Guatemala, Suriname also finishes 1-1, and I think Panama, just by goal difference and scoring more goals than Suriname, will qualify to the World Cup. Now, am I confident in this pick? Absolutely not. Could I see Suriname maybe getting a result away to Guatemala? No doubt about it, but I think it's just going to be fine margins that define this group winner, because this group has been chaotic. At a time, El Salvador was leading it. Then Panama was leading the group. Then Suriname. Now Suriname have destiny in their own hands. Who will qualify? Who knows? But as of right now, I got just the slightest of confidence in Panama, but I don't have much confidence in them, people. I wouldn't be shocked if Guatemala win both games and qualify to the World Cup. But for Guatemala, now that it's the pressure moment, did they have a lot of pressure going away to El Salvador? Yeah, maybe they did, because they had to keep their hopes alive. But now they're at home. And we saw the last time Guatemala were at home to El Salvador. Oh, they put up a stinker. They're going to have to improve their performances if they want to qualify to the World Cup. And for Suriname, if you can just get 2 1-0 victories, who's going to care? If you're Surinamese, do you care how you qualify to the World Cup? No, it's about getting into that pots and seeing your nation drawn out of pot 4, most likely, and being involved in the World Cup. That's the dream of every Surinamese person right now. And for Panama, I mean, you have pressure. If you don't win both of these games, I'm a little bit worried if you're even going to make it to the intercontinental playoffs as one of the best runners up. I'm really worried for them. So Group B, then we got Jamaica on 9 points, Curaçao on 8 points, Trinidad and Tobago on 5 points, and Bermuda at the bottom with a -12 goal difference in 4 games. Yeah, RIP to Bermuda. It's going to be a tough 2 games still that they got to play. They got to go home to Curaçao and away to Trinidad. I don't think it's going to be pretty here for Bermuda. But once again, I'll say this every time for Bermuda. It's about the experience. You're at the top level now of Concacaf football. These are the growing pains you need to, progress as a footballing nation. But yeah, I just see 2 L's for them right now. I can tell you right now, my predictions for Bermuda, they're taking 2 more L's and going 0 points. 006 settings here for Bermuda. Now, the big games, though, is Trinidad and Jamaica. I would not sleep here on Trinidad, people. Yeah, they haven't been spectacular. You haven't seen the best of Levi Garcia, in my opinion, throughout these qualifiers. He has 0 goals, by the way, people. 0. Probably one of their best players, Levi Garcia, has 0 goals. The 2 players for me that have stand out throughout these qualifiers is Spicer and Cardenas. Those are the only 2 guys where I'm like, oh no, these 2 players are real standouts for Trinidad. Yeah, no, they have some other decent players and very organized team. Set piece wise, they are super dangerous. So I would not rule them out one bit of possibly winning both games, maybe winning the group, just maybe, and maybe getting one of the best runners up position, because Trinidad, they're not going to score a lot of goals. They don't have a lot of goal scorers on their team, but they're an organized team. And I feel like when they went away to Curaçao, because I rewatched the game, they played well. They didn't really create a lot of golden chances, open play, but set piece wise, they really threatened Curaçao on a couple of occasions there. So now they're going to go at home to Jamaica, where I think they can really get a result here, because Jamaica, there's just something about Jamaica. I don't have full confidence in them. If they were at home, I would say they get the victory. They're going away to Trinidad. I don't think it's going to be the most spectacular performances from Steve McLaren's side. And at this moment in time for Jamaica, can they rise to the challenge? This is the moment that most Jamaicans have been waiting since 1998. Some Jamaicans have never seen their team at the World Cup. Can they now? All the pressure, all of the momentum, all of the sort of jeopardy, all of the storylines that have come out of the Jamaican FA the last couple of years, the disorganization. Can the players rise? Can Steve McLaren get his tactics right? They called up Rico Henry to get his first ever call-up for Jamaica. Now, there could be a possibility that Leon Bailey would feature against Curaçao. I think he's recovering from an injury. That's a big if, though. I don't really see him making it for that game. I think it would be a massive risk on their part. And then, who will be the starting striker? I think that's the big question mark here for Jamaica as well, because Nicholson, he got a goal in the last game against Bermuda. You could say, oh, his club form is terrible. I don't care about club form. Look at James Rodriguez. I will always use this example when talking about club form being terrible, but international form, you're great. James Rodriguez was constantly terrible at club level, having no teams. Look what he did for the Colombian national team. Why can't Nicholson do the same thing here for Jamaica and the Reggae Boys? Now, I don't think they're playing the best Jamaica still. I feel like there's a lot of improvement they could still have. They're still a pretty young team. They got a lot of new players throughout this window, but I think this is the moment where Jamaica and Steve McLaren, these are two tough games. You're going home to Curacao, away to Trinidad. All you pretty much need is 4 points and you qualify. The goal for Jamaica, and this should be the mindset of the players, go away to Trinidad and just get a point. If you have to play defensive football, just do it. Just do it. Because you know Curacao are going to beat Bermuda. That's a guarantee. I'm sorry to any Bermudans watching. This is the guarantee here. So tough for Jamaica. And then Curacao, the last candidate here in this group, Chong is back. He was called up. He hasn't played any games in the last couple weeks. So what's his injury status heading into this window? Because we saw Chong when he played against Bermuda. 2 goals and he was fantastic. And that's what Curacao need. They just need some goal scores. Defensively, they're pretty solid, even though I would feel they're a little bit weak from set pieces defensively. And as long as you have the Bakuna brothers, you have a solidified midfield there that can create defensive help, progress with the ball. And now, who will be the guy stepping up? If Chong cannot play, you're going to have to look at a guy like Gore. I mean, Kasnir, he's done okay at the striker role, but there's nobody else that could really fill into that position for Curacao. So I think for Curacao, you just got to beat Bermuda and then get a point away to Jamaica. And maybe that will be enough, people. Because by that game, for my predictions, I'll give you at least for the first match day here in this window. I think Curacao will beat Bermuda. And I think Trinidad and Jamaica will draw. So then it will all come down to Jamaica and Curacao. And Jamaica have to win the game. And all Curacao would need is a draw to qualify for their first ever World Cup. And my prediction-wise for the window is Curacao 3-1 over Bermuda, 1-1 between Trinidad and Jamaica then beat Curacao at home to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1998, and Trinidad beat Bermuda, which, you know, is a pretty good overall qualifiers, I would say, for Trinidad, and they got a bright future under Dwight York, but let's see how they can progress, and maybe they could beat Jamaica at home. I wouldn't rule that out here, people. I think for Curacao, they have been a good side, just lacking a little bit going forward. And now you're going away to Jamaica. Can they really get the result there to qualify? Maybe, but I just feel like Jamaica might have that momentum at home, especially. Jamaica are a really good home side. They're just frauds away from home. They just don't seem to have a playing style that can really suit them away from home. Now, like I said to Steve McLaren, just get the point away to Trinidad, beat Curacao at home, and then you qualify for your second ever World Cup. And then the final group, where Honduras right now are top with 8 points, Costa Rica in second place with 6 points, Haiti in third with 5 points, and Nicaragua at the bottom with 1 point. And let's just say they're not going to collect any points in this window, and they are the second worst team in all of these qualifiers because, I mean, these guys cannot do anything with the ball. Defensively, they're pretty weak, and yeah, they got 2 tough games. Home to Honduras and away to Haiti. Good luck. Good luck. So the 3 teams really to talk about in this group is Honduras, Costa Rica, and Haiti. And I want to start off with Haiti heading into this window where they played really well away in the first game in October. They won 3-0. They played good football. They were organized. The set pieces wise, they were looking good. Then they go away to Honduras and they got absolutely destroyed in that first half. They could do nothing, disorganized defensively. The second half, they didn't really do much with the ball. They couldn't really break down Honduras. And you really have to look at Haiti and saying, where's Pierrot? Where's Bellegarde? Why aren't these 2 players really standing up? I think Nazon has stepped up in these qualifiers, but Pierrot and Bellegarde, they've kind of been average throughout these qualifiers. This is the moment for them. If Haiti want to return to the World Cup, those 2 players, especially going home to Costa Rica and home to Nicaragua, you need those 2 players to really stand up because I think Haiti can be a good defensive team, but it's about what do they do going forward. We saw against, Costa Rica away, they were free flowing. They weren't afraid of the moment. And I think that's what Haiti has to do. They just got to play their football. They cannot be frightened of the moment and just think about it too much about, okay, we got to just get the result here. You got to just have the free-flowing football, and I think Haiti can do that. Home to Costa Rica, or well, home, I'd say it's a neutral ground in Curacao. It could favor them. They've obviously have had now all their away games in Central America. That could play in the favor of Haiti, but it's tough. Going home to Costa Rica is going to be a very tough game. And for Los Ticos, guess who's back, people? I mean, this is just, we're getting the bandit back here right now for Los Ticos. Joel Campbell is back. What is Piojo doing, man? I really don't understand some of these call-ups in this moment in time. I mean, is he going to improve the team? Maybe. Will he bring experience? Yeah, the dude is, I don't know how old right now. I mean, do you need forwards if you're Costa Rica? You got Ugalde and Martinez, who are absolutely balling out. Club level, international level, those two players are ridiculously carrying the attack right now. But the defense gives me no confidence. Yes, they performed well away to Honduras, but it was just a gritty defensive sort of game between the two teams. It was an awful game to watch. I had to rewatch it just to see how awful it was. It was terrible. But this is now a pressure moment here for Costa Rica. They have to win the last two games. There's no other option. You cannot draw points away to Haiti because Honduras are going to beat Nicaragua. So if I'm Costa Rica, you have to win both of these games. I think you just got to be attacking in both games. I know they're not the best defensively right now. This is very much an anti-Los Ticos teams where we've seen in the 21st century, Costa Rica, gritty, defensive team, good set piece side. They rely on the 1-2 star players in the past, like a Brian Ruiz, Joel Campbell. But now they got two star players in Ugalde Martinez. Just be good defensively. That's the thing for Costa Rica. Now, can they be? Well, they haven't shown much in these qualifiers. I'm a little bit worried here for Los Ticos. They should be fine at home against Honduras, depending on what happens against Haiti. But I still don't have full confidence in Costa Rica. I'm really worried for Costa Rica and Panama. They might be both missing the World Cup here, which would be an absolute shock to me. And then Honduras, well, they're 180 minutes away from returning to the World Cup for the first time since 2014. Massive, massive win over Haiti. I mean, the football they played in that first half, from Lozano to Luis Palma to Arriaga. Arriaga, guys, by the way, is an unbelievably good midfielder. And I watch him sometimes for Levante. He is all over the field. Defensively, ball carrying, goal scoring. He is such a good midfielder. And for me, he's been the best midfielder in these qualifiers, even though he missed the September window. When he came back for those October games, oh, the level of the midfield for Honduras went up a notch there. Now, how will they do with Choco Lozano out? He's out injured. The starting striker for Honduras. Well, it's probably going to have to be Benjuque, but that guy's average. Let's say it. He's average. So Luis Palma, Kyoto, those are the two players you really have to see stand up here for Honduras. This is going to be a tough window, though. I think now they have 2 away games here, Honduras. They did really well at home, getting the 2 home victories, getting the draw at home to Costa Rica. I think this is a prime position here for Honduras. You're not going to an intimidating environment of Nicaragua. It's an easy victory there. It should be, at least. It should be. But going away to Costa Rica, if you draw points to Nicaragua, oh boy, you're putting yourself in grave danger. But we've seen so many twists and turns throughout these Concacaf World Cup qualifiers. Do we have one late twist in this group? Let's find out with my prediction. Prediction-wise, I think Haiti and Costa Rica will draw and Honduras beat Nicaragua. And at that point, Honduras will have qualified to the World Cup, and then Costa Rica simply have to beat Honduras to at least get one of the best runners-up positions. I think they will do it. I think Costa Rica then will beat Honduras 2-1, and Haiti win their last game 2-0. When it comes to the best 2 runners-up teams, I got Costa Rica making as one of the best runners-up, and also Curaçao. So the team that would miss out is from Group A, which has probably been the most competitive group, and maybe that's to their demise. Suriname will just miss out on the Intercontinental Playoff, which is harsh, but that's the reality of CONCACAF football this time around. There we have it, people. The November predictions for the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Let me know your predictions. Do you think we're going to get more madness? Do you think we're going to see more debutants qualify to the World Cup from this region? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll try and do a review. I'm going to talk about more about the teams that have qualified to the World Cup after this window. So stay tuned for that here on the channel. And of course, I'll be talking a lot about the Intercontinental Playoffs. So stay tuned for that here also on the channel. But remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter. Join the Discord. The Discord is going to be hot during this international window. And have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time, adios.